Hello students, I am Dr. Minakshi Mahur, Assistant Professor, Zoology, Sri Samliaji Government College, Mandfia, Chittorgarh. Today I am going to discuss Lamarckism. There are many evidences of evolution which confirm that evolution does occur and simple living organisms gradually modify into complex forms. And the idea of organic evolution is not new. Buffon, he was a great French naturalist. He was the first to propose the direct modifying influence of environment. And he also suggested this concept of struggle for existence in his book Nature, History of Animals. And therefore, Buffon is considered as father of evolutionary concept. Then Erasmus Darwin, during 1731 to 1802 AD, he was the grandfather of Charles Darwin. He also accepted the idea of evolution through environmentally controlled forces. The first man who put forward an extensive uh, theory of organic evolution was Jean Baptiste de Lamarck. He was uh, mm, he proposed his theory Lamarckism in his book Philosophic Zoologic. And after Lamarck, there are three more theories which have been proposed to explain the concept of organic evolution. So, main theories of evolution are Lamarckism, Darwinism, mutation theory of uh, D-Rice, and Neo-Darwinism. So today I am going to explain Lamarckism. Lamarckism is also called theory of inheritance of acquired characters. This theory is based on the comparison between the contemporary species of its time to fossil records. Lamarckism is based on inheritance of acquired characters, and this theory uh, can be defined as changes, or we can say variation, developed in the body of an organism from normal characters in response to the changes in environment, or in the functioning, that is use and disuse of organs in their own lifetime to fulfill their new needs. So Lamarck stressed on adaptation as a means of evolutionary modification. He gave four postulates, or we can say Lamarckism is based on four postulates. First is new needs, or changes through use and disuse of organs. So the new habits evolve the greater use of certain organs to meet new needs, and the disuse or lesser use of certain other organs which are of no use in new conditions. So this use and disuse of organ affect the form, structure and functioning of the organs. But continuous and extra use of organs make them more efficient, while the continued disuse of some other organs may lead to their degeneration and ultimate disappearance. Therefore, Lamarckism is also called as theory of use and disuse of organs. There is one example. Lamarck believed that the long neck of giraffe. How did it evolve? It evolved as generations of giraffe reached for ever higher leaves. So, if a giraffe stretched its neck for leaves, for example, a nervous fluid would flow into its neck and make it longer. And then its offspring would inherit the longer neck, and continued stretching would make it longer, still over several generations. So this is all about change through use and disuse of organs. Now, second was inheritance of acquired characters. Lamarck believed that acquired characters are inheritable and uh, they are transmitted to the other generation, or we can say offspring, so that these are born fit to face the changed environmental conditions and the chances of their survival are increased. For example, blacksmith has strong arms. Why? Due to the nature of their work. And any children a blacksmith conceive will inherit the development of strong muscles. So, acquired characters or modifications developed by individuals during their own lifetime are inheritable and they accumulate over a period of time, resulting a new species. So, this is inheritance of acquired characters. Hence, the Lamarckism is also known as theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Then, effect of environment and new needs. The environment influence all the organisms. So, and the change in the environmental factors like light, temperature, medium, food, air, etc., or we can say migration of animal, they lead to the origin of new needs in the living organisms and especially animals. So, in order to fulfill this new needs, the living organisms have to exert special efforts like change in the habits or behavior. So, we can say production of new organ is resulted from a new need. Then, speciation. Lamarck believed that in all the generation or every generations, new characters acquired and transmitted to new generation. So the new characters accumulate after generation, and after some generations or a number of generation, a species is formed, which is new species. So, in according to Lamarck, the existing individual, which is a sum total of characters acquired by a number of previous generations, and the speciation is a gradual process. So, this is speciation. So, we covered four main postulates, it is change through use and disuse of organs, inheritance of acquired characters, effect of environment new needs, and last speciation. Now, examples of Lamarckism. So, first of all, evolution of giraffe. Uh, the ancestors of giraffe looked like horses with small neck and forelimbs. Means the development of present day long-necked and long forelimbed giraffe from a deer-like or we can say horse-like ancestor by the gradual elongation of neck and forelimbs in response to the deficiency of food on the barren ground in dry deserts of Africa. These body parts were elongated, so they were able to eat the leaves on tree branches. So this is an example of effect of extra use and elongation of certain organs. Giraffe had to stretch their neck and forelimb to eat leaves from tall plants, and consequently these parts got elongated, and these traits were transmitted in the successive generations. Now, other example is aquatic birds with webbed toes. Development of aquatic birds like duck, geese from the terrestrial ancestor by the acquired characters like reduction of wings. Why? Due to their continued disuse and development of webs between their toes for wedding purpose. These changes were induced. Why? Because of deficiency of food on land and severe competition. So it is example of both extra use, that is skin between the toes, and the disuse, that is the wings of organs. Then extinction of limbs in snakes. A development of present day limbless snakes with long slender body from the limbed ancestors due to the due to the continued disuse of limbs and stretching of their body to suit their creeping mode of locomotion and fossorial mode of living out of fear of larger and more powerful animals. So it is an example of disuse and degeneration of certain organs. Then flightless birds. Development of flightless birds like ostrich from flying ancestors due to continued disuse of wings. Due to some environmental changes, they had a lot of food and they were well protected and they stopped using their wings, and because of this the wings became vestigial. Then cave dwellers, the ancestor of the animals which were used to live in which were having powerful eyesight, but due to living under continuous dark condition they lost their power to see. Then criticism. German biologist August Wiesmann, who proposed the theory of continuity of germ plasm in 1892 AD, and the Russian physiologist Pavlov object the postulate of inheritance of acquired characters of Lamarckism. Actually, mutilated the tail of Wiesmann mutilated the tails of mice for about 22 generations, and he allowed these mice to breed, but tailless mice were never born. Again, one more experiment done by Pavlov, who was Russian physiologist. He trained mice to come for food on hearing a bell. But what did he report? He reported that this training is not innate and was necessary in every generation. In a similar way, boring of pinna of external ear and nose in Indian women and small size feet of Chinese women, etc., are not transmitted from one generation to another. Similarly, eyes being used continuously and constantly develop defects instead of being improved. Also, heart size does not increase generation after generation, though we are using it continuously. So, because of these reasons, Lamarckism was rejected. So, there are some limitations. So, there is no experimental proof of the Lamarckism, and new organs which are not formed in organism but their wish or requirement, and it is also not necessary that the acquired characters transmit into new generations. But there are some significance of Lamarckism. First is it was the first comprehensive theory of biological evolution. After that, many theories came into existence, but it was the first comprehensive theory. Lamarck stressed on adaptation to the environment as a means of primary product of evolution. Then it also explains the existence of vestigial organ in animals due to their continuous disuse. So this is a flowing chart which is showing postulates of Lamarckism. So first is change in environment, and change in environments create need for new structure in animal for making the environment adaptable to organisms. So, when new need arise for new structure, then new structure is developed. But if the organ is is being used, then it will it will inherit or transmit to successive generations. Means inheritance of adaptive characters. And because of inheritance of adaptive characters, new species is going to be originated, means origin of new species, that is speciation, because new characters accumulate generation after generation, and after a number of generation a new species is formed. But the organ which is not being used, or because of continuous disuse, the structure will be degenerated because there is a no need of that organ. So it is all about summary, or we can say postulates of Lamarckianism. Thank you.